Hello friends, subscribe to my channel High Schools and also press on the bell icon to watch my latest informative videos.
Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about a very important topic which is a APQP. APQP means Advanced Product Quality Planning. APQP is one of the 5 core tool of IATF and is published by AIAG Automotive Industry Action Group. So in this video we will clarify about the concept of APQP. So watch this video till the end. Friends, there are 5 core tools in IATF 16949-2016, which is a latest quality management system for an automotive industry. The 5 core tools are listed below. First one is APQP Advanced Product Quality Planning, about which in this video we will discuss. Second one is PPAP Production Part Approval Process. Third one is MSA Measurement System Analysis. Fourth one is SPC Statistical Process Control, and fifth one is FMEA Failure Modes and Effect Analysis. So first let's discuss about fundamentals of product quality planning. First is organize the team. Second is define the scope. Third is team to team communication. Fourth is training. Fifth is customer and organization involvement. Sixth is simulation engineering. Seventh is control plans. Eighth is concern resolution. Ninth is product quality timing plan, and last one is plans relative to the timing chart. What is APQP? APQP, which is Advanced Product Quality Planning, is a structured approach that is used to design and develop the product and process to meet the customer needs and expectations. Advanced Product Quality Planning is extensively used by automotive industries to assure quality and performance through effective planning. APQP is a framework for developing new product. APQP is one of the important core tool among the 5 core tools of IATF 16949-2016. APQP serve as a guide in the development process and also a standard way to share results between organization and their customers. APQP covers design robustness, design testing and specification, compliance, production process design, quality inspection standards, process capability, production capacity, product packaging, product testing, and operator training plan, among others. Now, what is the history of APQP? The big three, which are Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler, has developed the process of advanced product quality planning in late 1980s. Initially, the representatives from Big Three and the Automotive Division of American Society for Quality Control, which is ADQC, has developed the quality requirement for automotive suppliers. Today, APQP is adopted by many automotive industries. Tier 1 suppliers of automotive OEMs are generally required to follow the APQP guideline. This will be audited during the certification of IATF 16949. This is controlled and published by AIAG. AIAG Automotive Industry Action Group is a non-profit organization for automotive companies founded in 1982. So friends, it is very important to know about the objectives of APQP. The first one is facilitate effective communication with everyone involved in APQP process. Second one is timely completion of all required concepts. Third one is no or minimum quality complaints. Fourth one is assure product quality, process quality and performance. And fifth one is meeting customers' requirement. So let's discuss about the main focus point of APQP. The first one is understanding the customer needs and expectations. Second one is APQP focus on proactive approach and corrective action. Third one is designing within the process capabilities. Fourth one is analyzing and mitigating failure modes. Fifth one is verification, validation and design reviews. And sixth one is control on special critical characteristics, which are CTQ or CTPs. Friends, it is very important to understand about the concept of product quality planning cycle. APQP always work on PDCA cycle. PDCA is a plan, do, check and act cycle. Let's see how APQP is integrated with the PDCA cycle. See here, in plan phase there is a plan and define. In do phase there is product design and development and process design and development. In check phase there is product and process validation, and in act phase there is feedback, assessment and corrective action. Also you can see here technology and concept development is engaged with plan phase. Product and process development and prototype verification is engaged with do phase. Confirmation, product and validation process is engaged with check phase, and continual improvement is engaged with act phase. So friends, let's discuss about what is APQP timing chart. In APQP there are 5 phases. First phase is plan and define program. Second phase is product design and development verification. Third phase is process design and development verification. Fourth phase is product and process validation. Fifth phase is feedback, assessment and corrective action. As you can see here, in concept initiation and approval, work of plan and define program is done. After program approval and before prototype, work of product design and development verification is done. After prototype and before we are sending the pilot load to our customer, work of process design and development verification is done. And after pilot and before launch, work of product and process validation is done. And after launch there is a work remaining, feedback, assessment and corrective action. So friends, hope you completely understood about the APQP timing chart. What are the 5 phases of APQP? The 5 phases of APQP are mentioned below. First is plan and define program. Second is product design and development. Third is process design and development. Fourth is product and process validation. And fifth one is feedback, assessment and corrective action. So let's discuss about these 5 phases briefly one by one. The phase 1 is plan and define program. The purpose of this phase is to ensure that customer needs and expectations are clearly understood. If I'll talk about the inputs of this phase, the first one is understand the voice of customer. How we can understand the voice of customer? By gathering the information. How we can gather the information? By doing the market research, historical warranty and quality information and team experience. Second one is business plan and marketing strategy. We have need to understand the business plan and marketing strategy of our customer. Third one is product and process benchmark data for setting the performance target for product and processes. Fourth one is product and process assumptions for assuming the certain features, design and process concepts of product. Fifth one is product reliability studies. Reliability mean to say to continuously meet the requirement of customer. What will be the outputs of this phase? First one is design goals. Second one is reliability and quality requirements. Third one is preliminary bill of materials. Fourth one is preliminary process flow charts. Fifth one is a preliminary listing of special product and process characteristics. Sixth one is product quality assurance plan, and seventh one is management support. Next is phase 2, product design and development. The purpose of this phase is to develop design features into nearly the final form of the product. As you can see here, the inputs of this phase is same as the output of plan and define program phase. So what will be the inputs of this phase? First one will be design goals. Second one will be reliability and quality requirements. Third one will be preliminary bill of material. Fourth one will be preliminary process flow charts. Fifth one will be a preliminary listing of special product and process characteristics. Sixth one will be product quality assurance plan, and seventh one will be management support. If I'll talk about the outputs of this phase, Then the output will be DFMEA, design failure modes and effect analysis, DFMA or DMA, design for manufacturability and assembly, DVP and R, design verification plan and report, design verification through prototype model, design verification through product testing, prototype control plan, engineering drawings review, engineering specification review, material specification review, drawing and specification changes, target setting for productivity and process capability, gauge testing equipment requirements, new tooling, equipment and facilities requirement review, team feasibility commitment sign off. Phase 3 is process design and development. The purpose of this phase is to develop an effective management system to assure that customer needs and expectations are met. The inputs of this phase will be same as the output of product design and development phase, which are DFMEA, design failure modes and effect analysis, DFMA or DMA, design for manufacturability and assembly, DVP and R, design verification plan and report, design verification through prototype model, design verification through product testing, prototype control plan, engineering drawing review, engineering specification review, material specification review, drawing and specification changes, target setting for productivity and process capability, gauge testing equipment requirement, new tooling, equipment and facilities requirement review, team feasibility commitment sign off. And outputs will be PFD, process flow diagram, PFMEA, process failure mode and effect analysis, pre-launch control plan, floor plan layout, packaging standards, measurement system analysis plan, data for quality, reliability, measurability and maintainability, method of rapid detection and feedback, result of error proofing activities. Now move to the next phase, phase 4, product and process validation. The purpose of this phase is to validate the manufacturing process with the help of production trial run and to finalize the production control plan. Inputs of this phase will be PFD, process flow diagram, PFMEA, process failure mode and effect analysis, pre-launch control plan, floor plan layout, packaging standards, measurement system analysis plan, data for quality, reliability, measurability and maintainability, method of rapid detection and feedback, and result of error proofing activities. And the outputs will be production trial run, production control plan, measurement system evaluation, preliminary process capability study, production part approval process, production validation testing, packaging evaluation, quality planning sign off and management support. Now move to the next phase, which is a phase 5, feedback, assessment and corrective action. The purpose of this phase is to make continual improvements in the product and process to enhance customer satisfaction levels. Inputs of this phase will be production trial run, production control plan, measurement system evaluation, preliminary process capability study, production part approval process, production validation testing, packaging evaluation and quality planning sign off and management support. And the output will be reduced variation, which will be common and special covariation, improved customer satisfaction, improved delivery and services, effective use of lesson learned best practices. Activities included in this phase to enhance the customer specification are evaluation of the effectiveness of APQP efforts based on the customer feedback, making the necessary changes to correct non-conformance, organization participation in problem solving and continuous improvement activities, and APQP timing chart. So friends, what will be the benefits of APQP? First benefit will be increase customer satisfaction level. Second will be early identification of required changes. Third will be changes after product launch are avoided. And fourth will be
on-time delivery of quality products with competitive price. Thank you my friends for watching my video. If you really like this video, then please share with your friends and colleagues, and also do subscribe to my channel and press on the bell icon to get the notification about the future videos.